Welcome to the Monster Hunter's Toolbox, the podcast where we break down the legends, mythology, and history of the world's most terrifying cryptids, and most importantly, how to survive them. I'm your host, and today we'll be looking into the elusive Chupacabra, a shadowy predator originally discovered through the mutilation of livestock on the island of Puerto Rico. This terrifying cryptid has since migrated across the Americas and even into the United States, leaving a trail of drained carcasses and eerie sightings in its wake. And at the end, we'll put the pieces together and suggest a theory that El Chupacabra might be evolving, according to stories and eyewitness accounts. The legend of El Chupacabra first emerged in the mid-1990s in Puerto Rico, when farmers began discovering livestock drained of blood, bearing puncture wounds on their necks. This creature is described as reptilian or canine-like, with glowing red or green eyes, its spines running down its back, and an unnatural gait. Some reports claim it possesses incredible speed, the ability to leap great distances, and even mimicry, a disturbing talent that allows it to imitate sounds, possibly even human voices. While modern science has attempted to explain sightings as diseased coyotes suffering from mange, these explanations fail to account for the bizarre blood-draining patterns and chilling consistency of encounters across different regions. So, what can we do about it? Some theories suggest that El Chupacabra's sensitive skin and eyes make it vulnerable to intense UV light. Carrying a high-powered UV flashlight or installing motion-activated UV lights around livestock enclosures may deter the creature. Folklore often associates cryptids with weaknesses to certain metals. While there's no direct evidence that iron can harm El Chupacabra, doesn't hurt to be prepared with a sturdy blade or metal-tipped weapon. El Chupacabra is believed to be an ambush predator, relying on cover and speed to strike. Open areas with minimal hiding spots, tall fences, tanzes, and well-lit surroundings can make it harder for the creature to close in unnoticed. Some cultures believe that certain herbs, such as garlic and rue, can ward off supernatural entities. We would recommend researching local elemental protective measures. As you'll see later, local adaptation to El Chupacabra may become vital. Moreover, the subject can be quite fascinating. While their effectiveness against El Chupacabra is unproven, they remain a part of local protective rituals. Sightings of the creature seem to have expanded well beyond the point of origin. Over the years, El Chupacabra has been sighted as north as Texas, as far south as Chile, with some potential sightings outside of the Americas in both Russia and in the Philippines. If you find yourself living near areas where El Chupacabra is commonly sighted, preparation is key. Here's what you'll need: tactical firearm or tranquilizer gun. In case the creature is an unknown but real predator, a high-powered rifle or shotgun is often the first choice. However, with the number of misidentifications due to mange, perhaps exploring less lethal options, such as a tranquilizer, could be explored, thus allowing for proper identification and, if necessary, treatment. Net gun, also a less than lethal option. The pneumatic net gun may be employed to safely secure a small to medium-sized animal for transportation. This may allow for the preservation of a specimen for further study. Analysis and evidence: we recommend looking into utilizing a pneumatic net gun. It is likely these devices will have multiple uses, particularly in cryptid hunting. However, if you have any suggestions for uses of a pneumatic net gun, drop them in the comments below. The KJK minigame camera with night vision. This trail camera's 130-degree wide-angle lens has night vision, a trigger time of 1/10 of a second, and motion activation. The waterproof design makes it an excellent option for surveilling remote areas. See the link in the description below. Survival pack, an emergency shelter. If you need to track the creature or spend extended time outdoors, carrying essentials like food, first aid, and a lightweight emergency shelter is always recommended, as we have seen evidence of El Chupacabra migrating from its mainland. Perhaps the creature can stealthily sneak aboard cargo ships or trailers. As such, we do recommend staying vigilant, just in case. Next, we will be covering some essential skills to put into practice: tracking and wildlife identification. Understanding footprints, bite marks, and behavioral patterns can help distinguish a real predator from urban legends. Recognizing the difference between coyote attacks and suspected chupacabra strikes is critical. Emergency first aid and animal care. In the wake of a chupacabra attack, you may be the first responder to injured livestock or wildlife. Knowing how to treat wounds and prevent further suffering is essential. However, if it turns out that El Chupacabra is indeed a distressed or desperate animal, we can, and believe we should, do what we can to help. Defensive enclosures for livestock. Since livestock is the primary prey of this creature, effective deterrents are crucial. At the very minimum, the 2-pack of clip-on solar-powered motion sensor lights by Lifengsoler would be extremely helpful for impromptu lighting needs. The link for this is in the description below. Is it even necessary to prepare for a potential attack from El Chupacabra today? That actually brings us to our theory we promised at the beginning of this episode. The variations in description of the creature seem to shift based on the distance from its Puerto Rican epicenter. As the creature expands its territory and potentially produces offspring, wouldn't it be likely that those very adaptations would, in some way, alter its physiology? If that's the case, what might El Chupacabra look like as it moves further from its origin, and after multiple generations? If you've seen one in your area, give us all the details in the comments below. Is the Chupacabra real? If so, are the tools and skills we've discussed enough to keep our families and livestock safe? Then again, if we're dealing with a desperate and distressed creature, do we have the tools and knowledge to approach it ethically? That wraps up today's episode of the Monster Hunter's Toolbox. If you found this information useful, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Have a monster you'd like us to cover in the next episode? Let us know. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay prepared, and remember, some legends exist for a reason.